Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading for the week of June 12th. We're just going to jump right in here, Sag, and see what is going on for you. You have this Not For You card and the Four of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So clearly this could be like a breakup, separation, or just something that is not for you. Plain and simple. Sometimes I feel that the Two of Cups can represent a stepping stone soulmate. If you don't know what a stepping stone soulmate is, it's basically someone you feel a very strong connection with, but and usually you know it's a stepping stone soulmate because they remind you of something that you went through in the past. I'm actually going to take all three of these cards. I grabbed like a bunch and they wanted to come out together, so we'll take it. But usually they're someone who has like been through something that you've been through in your life in the past, or they have similar, maybe traumas or issues. Doesn't have to be trauma. It could just be, they grew up the same way that you do. So usually that's why you feel a deep connection with them, but they're really just a stepping stone. And usually they lead to something much better, which is kind of what this looks like right here, is like a much better connection, something much more fulfilling. And that's what could be coming in for you. But again, you have the Four of Swords, the Two of Cups, and the Five of Swords. So I really feel like you're healing from this, whatever this situation is. And it's going to make you feel like a lot better. I do feel there could still be some attachment here with the Three of Swords, but we'll talk about that in a minute. The Four of Swords, there's a person in this stained glass window who's blessing this other person. So I kind of feel that there are blessings, or you're hoping or praying for blessings, but maybe you feel like you keep getting your heart broken going this way. But again, I feel like there's like true love coming in for you. Again, we already talked about the Two of Cups. Could be, this first row is pretty straightforward. I would say something from the past is not for you. And again, it doesn't even have to be love. It could be a job or just something that didn't work out here. I feel like, I kind of get the feeling of being in a situation where it's like it doesn't matter what direction you step in. There's just something there to block you. There's something there that prevents you from moving forward, or whatever the case may be. So I feel for some of you, it's just something that just was not meant to work in the first place. And again, it doesn't have to be love for some of you. I feel like it could be a job for some. You have the Five of Swords here, like wanting to walk away. I kind of feel like the Five of Swords is also encouraging you to take a risk. Five of Swords is my card of taking a risk. He's like kind of winning at all cost, but he's also taking a risk because he's carrying those three swords and he's leaving two behind him. Those two people could easily come get those swords, but they're not. So he's kind of taking a risk. And I feel like there is a risk, that you could be taking here. And it's kind of interesting that he's holding three swords, because then we go up to the Three of Swords here. So it's like, are you holding on to a heartbreak, I would say, or are you holding on to some sort of loss? I'm not, calling you out here or anything, Sagittarius. I'm simply asking the question. And, I would say maybe you need to take some time this week to heal from a heartbreaking situation. Again, it could be a job loss or, something else that happened as well. With the Four of Swords, you had too much conflict in the first place. Sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I think in life, like when we have a bunch of conflict with a person, it actually makes us want to work on it more. Especially if you're a winner, which if you're watching the Minnow pond, then yeah, you are a winner. So I would say, like, I understand not wanting to lose, in a situation. So maybe that's why you have stayed in something for longer than you should, whether it's a business or relationship, whatever. It's like you don't want to give up on it. With the Two of Cups, you have the Strength card. I feel like this has taught you how to be strong. It's like taught you how to, I feel like you've maybe made a lot of progress or grown a lot, I wouldn't say faster, but it's like maybe it takes us years to learn certain lessons. It's like giving me the vibes that if you have learned a lesson about something that's not for you, I feel like you did learn the lesson much faster. And so, I would keep working on it with the Strength card, or, I would just be patient in this situation, basically. With the Five of Swords, you have the Judgment card. If this was a person who did you dirty as well, I feel like you could literally be seeing them getting their judgment. But I also feel you're ready to leave something behind. On the Judgment card, the people are rising up out of coffins. The coffins represent their old life. Outside the coffin is their new life. So it looks to me like you are kind of like stepping into your new life here. Next, you have this Wombat spirit. It says, be at home. And so some of you maybe need to take some time at home. It's funny because you have the King of Cups as well. King of Cups to me is a clue card. And to me, this is not accurate tarot, but I have certain cards personally that I use as clues for something else. And I frequently say the King of Cups to me is the card of the home. So some of you, maybe you just need to spend time at home. You could be moving, but you do go to the Three of Wands here. So there could be a move, but I feel like some of you just need to take some like healing time or, resting, relaxing time at home, especially with this King of Cups energy right here. I feel like that would be a good idea. He also, has this whale right here, and it looks like a fish, but it's supposed to be a whale. And he's sitting in the middle of the ocean. So it kind of represents his deep emotions, or, he's willing to explore his depths. So don't be afraid to maybe do some like emotional exploration, figure out like how you feel about things. I feel like some of you need to feel your feelings, just feel it and, and get through it. And when you do that, then I feel like you will heal from whatever the situation is. So if it's like a breakup, it's like feel it, feel the feelings, go through it, and then get to the other side. And I kind of get that energy here. It's like sometimes I think we are afraid to feel the feelings, or we're afraid to go through it or whatever the case may be. But again, I feel like if you could feel your way through something, then you're going to get through it much faster. It's definitely popping into my head. And again, it is popping into my head that some of you could be moving as well. And next, you got 3 cards for some reason. You have the Queen of Cups, the Empress, and the Page of Cups. So definitely could be a new divine counterpart coming in for you if I can get these cards together. Someone who finds you very attractive, and someone who's very abundant. You have the King and Queen of Cups, so divine counterparts definitely could be a very solid connection. And I do feel there is an admirer, or there could be someone that you admire. Take it how it resonates. If you are just looking for an opportunity in life, I feel there could be a really big opportunity here. The Page of Cups, he's got this, sorry, my camera's reversed. He's got this fish in this cup here, and that fish is something that he needs to grab onto. But it's almost like you are being, you could be the Empress, and it's like you're being, I'm going to keep doing it, but sorry. You are being offered like an opportunity here. And for some of you, I feel like it's going to be very, very abundant. And if it's not abundant, well, I think it is, but I also feel it could be very, very fulfilling. Like if this is a job offer, for example, it's something that where you put energy in and you get more out. And again, I think those are the best jobs because then you don't feel tired. Then you don't feel exhausted. I always say like some days that I start my readings, I'm super tired, but I always have way more energy after. I channel from source when I do these readings. So I always feel way better at the end of my readings than I do at the beginning. And sometimes I feel tired and then end up feeling super energetic at the end, right? So, that's like the Ace of Cups. If you can find a job or start a business that makes you feel like that, then, obviously that's a good thing. I also feel that there could be a person coming in for you here. It could be a water sign. You have a lot of water here, but it could also be an earth sign as well that is coming in for you. It could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. But let's see what is going on for you here. With the King of Cups, you have the Death card. Definitely a big death going on here. Judgment, those people are dead. Well, they were dead. They're rising out of the coffin, so you're clearly entering into a new life. If you've been thinking about moving, which I think you are just thinking about it because of the Hangman here, the Hangman is like trying to get some answers, trying to figure out if you actually want to do it or not. He has put himself in Hangman mode so that he can get answers. And I feel like a lot of you could be doing that, like trying to get answers, trying to figure things out. But I do feel if you are thinking about moving, you probably will. With the, whatever this was, Queen of Cups, Empress, Page of Cups, you have the Justice card. Yeah, could be a Libra as well. But justice is cause and effect. It's like if you're meeting a person, you could be meeting a person who really gives to the connection. But it also says that you need to make sure that someone gives to the connection, meaning like don't just enter into a love situation, overgive. Make sure to give a little, wait for them to give a little, like make sure there's a nice little kind of give and take, right? With the the Ace of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Yes, I mean all these, all these Cups cards. We go this way to the Lovers as well. You could be attracting someone from a distance here with the Three of Wands, but, it could be a water sign. Like I said, Knight in Shining Armor with that Knight of Cups. It could just be a Knight in Shining Armor. It could just be someone who really wants to have a solid relationship going to the Lovers here. I feel like it would be very expansive with the Three of Wands, but again, I feel like it definitely will probably require travel or, it's going to require something here with that Three of Wands, right? Next, you have this card that says, uproot your life and leave all that is familiar. To me, you're making like a big change. Judgment. here. Three of Wands card of expansion as well. You have this investment card. It says, whatever you invest in today will flourish in the future. Ensure that where you invest matches your investment goals. So this does not have to be financial investment. This could be the investment of your energy. But this whole entire reading is like encouraging you to leave the familiar, like that card says, and uproot your life. That's like a pretty big change. And, I didn't even see that card at the beginning. And it's kind of interesting to me that we've basically been saying this, that you could be kind of, I just had said it, that you were maybe thinking about a move. But I would say if you're thinking about making any big change, it doesn't matter what it is, I feel it'll be very good for you. The thing is that you have the Three of Swords, Three of Wands, and the Queen of Pentacles. The Three of Swords could represent like a heartbreak. But sometimes, I feel if we uproot our life or if we make some sort of change, it can be heartbreaking in a way, even though it's not like a bad thing, right? It's like if you have to leave a job where you have a bunch of friends, it could be sad, but at the same time, maybe you're leaving for some good reason so that you can grow, so that you can, truly expand here with the Three of Wands. So whatever this change is, it's going to be very expansive. And again, if you are moving, you could be moving from like a small town to a major city or something like that. You could be moving from, living in the woods to a city or something along those lines. I don't know. I just get like this, kind of like expansive energy on the Three of Wands. And I really feel this reading, I feel like the universe, everything is like encouraging you to enter into expansive opportunities, even a job. Like if you're looking for a job, this kind of reading gives me the vibes. Like there's nothing here that says what I'm about to say. I want to stress that, but more just like the vibe I'm getting from this reading is that like if you're trying to get a job and you're having a hard time, go for something harder. It's like whenever the Three of Wands and then stuff like this, everything that's going on here, it's like saying, the universe really wants you to expand, so you should try to maybe get a job that you're not qualified for. We're not saying you're not qualified for it, but again, sometimes, maybe there's a job where there are just some extra qualifications that maybe you don't have, but you know how to do it anyway, that type of thing. Don't be afraid to go for those positions. Don't be afraid to go for something that makes you grow. Don't be afraid to, go for that relationship that maybe forces you to better yourself or something like that, right? Like sometimes maybe we go for a person who, in some way, shape, or form, they force us to improve ourselves because we feel like we have to or whatever. And is that really a bad thing? I would say no. So, I know I get comments all the time from people that are like, how dare you say that I have to improve to be in a relationship? I'm like, okay, chill out. Again, you do you. I don't care. Stay the same and keep dating the same type of bozo, right? But I encourage people to do better. So, if you have a problem with that, I don't know, get lost. But you have the Queen of Pentacles here. Queen of Pentacles is a card of like growth and abundance and good things coming in for you. You can see that she's focused on that pentacle. She's not focused on this rabbit right here. So, she kind of represents the fact that she is very focused on what she can do. She's not focused on like anxiety or fear, which is what the rabbit can represent. The rabbit can represent fertility and abundance, but again, on the Queen of Pentacles, really, it represents fear, and it represents the fact that she's not focused on her fears. She's focused on the resources that she has at her disposal, and she uses those resources. Doesn't have to be financial. It could be any type of resource. She uses those resources to be very successful. With the Three of Swords, you have the King of Pentacles. There you go. You have divine counterparts here. So again, there could be like a divine counterpart coming in for you. It could be an earth sign. I would say earth is probably more likely than water. I mean, take it how it resonates. I always tell people that if you're judging people based off of their sun sign, you're going to be single for the rest of your life. Not every single sun sign is exactly the same. For every person that says, I would never date a Sagittarius, I would never date a Scorpio as a Sagittarius or whatever, it's like, I know plenty of people that are exactly that have been married forever. To me, again, it has nothing to do with sun sign. It has to do with the person. Plain and simple. It's like, again, if you want something to work, you can make it work, right? And you have to be willing to put the work in. But again, like I said, I have people that have been leaving. Have this channel for almost 9 years now, and I have people that since day one are like, I would never date a Leo. I'd never do it. And guess what? For the past 9 years, they've been leaving the same comment. So why do you think that is? But it could be any sign. Take it how it resonates. With the Three of Wands, you have the Emperor here. Didn't you have the Empress? Am I making that up? Oh yeah. Look at this. All three fire signs had the Emperor and the Empress, not in the same decks, which is interesting as well. People will say like, oh, the cards are sticking or something, but no, it's been different, the different cards in the different decks. So I think it was like Aries had it in this deck here, the main deck. Leo, I think, had it in this deck, the clarifying deck. So pretty weird. Definitely could be a divine counterpart. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, I feel like you need to believe something. 7 of Wands is my card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful, like when you truly internalize something and you truly believe it deep down in your DNA, that's when you can truly become successful. Like when you really, really believe that something is going to be successful in your life. Next, you have this lighthouse card. It says, when the seas are rough, search for the light worker. You have the King of Cups. He is in the middle of the rough ocean. And so, again, there could be a person, like there could be a light worker coming in for you. But this could also just be like following guidance. And again, I feel like we're in for, some chaos here over the next several years between like now and 2027. I think the energy is a little bit chaotic. I feel like the world will be more chaotic, more than what we see right now, more stuff happening. I don't say this to scare anyone, and I don't think tarot or astrology should scare anyone about anything. But again, I do think it's something that we should pay attention to. I think we should understand that we're going to be perfectly fine. Nothing, again, you came to Earth at this time for a reason. So guess what? You can handle it if you feel like, even if you feel like you can't. But again, the other reason I say this is because, yes, things are going to be chaotic. So now so just operate accordingly, right? And what I would say here is like, don't worry. Again, we're going to see a lot of like, mark my words, I promise you, we are going to see a lot of people screaming, the sky is falling. And, go read Chicken Little because you can figure out how that book went. But what I will say is, again, there's going to be a lot of people screaming the sky is falling, but nothing is happening. Nothing bad is going to happen to you or anything like that. So why is this important? Because we need to go towards the light. It's like when everything is trying to push people towards the dark, there needs to be light or else we are going to, who the hell knows what's going to happen if we don't, right? So you have the Lovers, the Three of Cups, and the Hangman. Definitely could be love coming in for you. Very solid connection if it is love that's coming in here. If it's not love, and it could be love and a new opportunity because the Lovers traditionally was like a card of being at a crossroads, having a choice to make. And the Lovers really kind of represents like picking the new path or, picking a new choice. I also feel you're being divinely guided. This right here is your higher self angel. So you could really be feeling like the universe is guiding you or like you are being guided in a new direction. And again, I would trust the light, trust what the light, how the light feels or something. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is a celebration, happiness, good things coming in for you. Also could be surrounding yourself with positive people. I'm a big fan of doing this right now. Again, surrounding yourself with positivity and not negativity. Just again, because I feel like the world needs more of it. You have the Hangman. I feel like some of you are getting answers. It is a time of answers. I mean, it is a time of truth. Again, I think we're going to see a lot of truths being revealed, aliens landing. I've talked all about it. And how in Nevada, like a news just came out that some aliens landed in some person's backyard or something like that. I'm not saying it's true. I'm just saying, isn't it interesting that literally a couple weeks ago I said, if aliens are going to land, it's going to happen. And, if they're going to like admit to it for real life, they are aliens. It's like our government is a bunch of aliens. That's what people need to realize, right? But if they're going to actually admit to it, then it's going to happen between now and 2027. Mark my words. I bet it happens before 2026, honestly. But, if it's going to happen, Pluto and Aquarius is weird. So, we're going to see some weird shit, but I keep telling people, buckle up, think about how you can take advantage of it. Because, again, there's going to be a lot of opportunity in the weird stuff that happens. Who the hell knows what? But, if you put your thinking cap on, you could be very successful. But, again, I feel like you could be gaining a lot of clarity at this time. And again, there's a lot of truth that's coming out, but even on a personal level, we could be discovering truths about ourselves right now, more than we normally would be able to. But these truths could be like, maybe you understand the truth about what you want to do with your life, or you discover your purpose. You have the Judgment card here, right? So don't, open up to those truths. With the Lovers, you have the Lovers. Definitely love could be coming in for you here if you want it. With the Three of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. Two Wands, Three of Wands are my cards of really needing to get out into the world. They're both cards of leadership, and the Two of Wands is a card of leaving a comfort zone. They're both cards of expansion and progress as well. They kind of are very similar to me. Just even intuitively, I look at those two cards as similar. They're different. They definitely have their differences. Don't get me wrong, but the Two of Wands is more about kind of like needing to see that you have an opportunity. He's got the whole world in his hands, so I feel like you need to realize there's a lot of opportunity right now for you. With the Hangman, you have the Six of Wands. The truth is where your victory will be. So again, if your truth is to quit your job and go, start your business or whatever, then I would do it. Although, at the same time, I wouldn't just be quitting my job right now if I were you here, Sagittarius. I say that to everyone. I mean, I would make sure that you have something else lined up before you do that. But at the same time, again, I feel like we also need to kind of move towards our truths and listen to our truths. because that's where the victories are going to be. But let's see here. We're going to pull 5 main themes. You have this negotiation card, Jupiter and Libra. I feel with that Justice card, again, paying attention to what works and what doesn't work in your life is going to be important. Next, you have this Enterprise card. Love it. This is definitely a very good card of business. And I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure I've said to you before that if you have a business, I really see a lot of business growth. I see a lot of things that you're doing. Like, you're making a lot of the right moves. Here's the thing is, one thing I will tell you is, like, what pops into my head for you, like, I said the same thing last reading for you as well, is it's almost like you feel like things aren't working, but they actually are. I feel like what you don't realize is that the energy is going to catch up. It's like the energy is going to get to a point where you've built up a lot of momentum, and when it hits, you're going to find a lot of success. You have this Submission card. This card is about needing to set yourself free. There's a bird in that cage right there, but the cage door is open. So I feel, even if you feel stuck, I feel like you are actually much more free than you realize. You have this Independence card. Yeah, I feel like you are very independent. Even though there's a lot of love here, you might be like trying to get into something very independent. And finally, you have this Practicality card. Yeah, I would keep it practical. Meaning if you are working on a business or a career or something, and if you know that one way to do things works, just keep it practical. Keep it simple is kind of what I'm getting here. I'm going to pull an extra card because that first one popped out. Yeah, you have this Birth card. You're definitely birthing new ideas in your life. So it looks really good here, Sag. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.